back. How did it go?
The beast should trouble us no further.
Well, that's a bloody relief. So you put down old Garm, did you?
Yeah, sort of.
Atreus, your decision to go to Asgard after all he's put us through. I'll never understand it. But I hope you at least came back with something we can use.
I hope so too. Come on, let me show you what Odin's up to. Here's what he cares about most. More than Ragnarok or anything, is this mask. Anyone recognize it?
That thing? Ugh, it's a dead end. He's been faffing around with that since before I knew him. To be honest, I thought the giants were just having a laugh with that one.
Okay, fine. No.
You're wrong, Mimir. This mask is no fraud. The giants didn't make it, and only a few of them ever glimpsed it in their visions. They never knew its origin, but some believed it was a way to gaze into the secrets of creation itself.
Is it an oracle?
Much, much more. Imagine becoming one with a source of infinite knowledge. This is why Odin tortured me.
So what do you think? Know it?
No. It's one obsession he never saw fit to share with me. But I'll tell you this. Even when Odin speaks the truth, his purpose is false. Either way, it's a mistake to let it distract us. Is Heimdall our focus or not?
We will rewrite our fate another way.
Then I'm going back to Vanaheim. If we're not taking the fight to Odin, I should help my brother stand against him.
We will join her when we can.
Father, I'm gonna study my notes on the mask, see if I can think of a plan. But if you want to go anywhere, I'm with you. And listen. I'm really sorry about the way I left. You know I've never hurt any of you on purpose.
Well, when you could turn into a bear by accident, I suppose these things can happen.
So, do you forgive me?
Of course, Atreus.
We know you meant no harm, lad.
Sindri?
I'm sure I will. Eventually.
Okay.
While we're clearing the air, I hope that I can be forgiven for not doing more when the Hellwalkers attacked. Whatever reservations I have about violence, they shouldn't apply. The first time I beat dead abominations, that I reached for a shield instead of a sword. You were right to chide me for that, old friend. The next time the moment calls me,
Well said, Tia. Just might.
Thanks for this.
You know what you want? Need something special?
I think I need to clear my head. Freya's made her room so verdant, calming. I don't suppose she'd mind.
A good fit.
Brother, before we check on Freya, is there any unfinished business in other realms you wanted to take care of? I'm sure the lad would love to help.
Ready when you are. You make up your mind.
You are well.
Take more than a port full of bone-chawing stiffs to keep me down. What am I gonna do? Walk around with a bandage on my head, begging for attention?
I was mauled by a bear!
Nudged, more like it.
Hey, wait! We're with you. Back to Midgard?
We still have unfinished business there. Atreus, we stumbled across some raider camps on the frozen lake. Thought it might be worth clearing them out.
Sounds good.
What else do you know of the mask?
Only that it was the great passion of Odin's life. He journeyed across Aegir's burning ocean, into the heart of the silent matron herself to find it. Lost every man in his crew, but to hear him tell it, it was worth all that blood and more.
Mimir, Odin's mask. How do you hear about it in the first place?
He said a voice spoke to him one night, entreated him to collect the mask and control his own fate. I still think it's all a bunch of bollocks. Odin got drunk, convinced himself a wooden mask would solve all his problems, and pranced about the realms until he found a sufficiently mysterious bauble to fit the bill. Mask probably doesn't do anything at all.
Yeah, probably. Now that I've spent time in Asgard, it's strange to imagine Magni and Modi there. Sif raised them both, right? She seems like a good mom. Maybe a little overprotective.
A good mother. Not the Sif I knew.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Mimir, what were you saying earlier? About Sif not being a good mother when you knew her?
It's quite true, if I'm being frank. In a culture as debaucherous as the Aesir, being a paragon of womanhood meant being a fierce fighter and a fiercer drinker. She and Thor seldom knew a moment's sobriety, whether brutally dealing with their enemies or, just as brutally, raising those boys.
What do you mean?
Oh, little brother. I know you didn't have an easy childhood, but you can't fathom how much worse it can get. Imagine learning discipline by having thrashed into you time and again. That was Thor's approach, the same one Odin used on him. A poisonous notion of manhood passed down through generations. A grim inheritance, leaving all of them the poorer. That's enough for the time being.
Left leg down!
Another Berserker gravestone.
They gather the pier.
For later! Devour them!
I felt that one, brother.
Elder God, thank
appeared! Oh, I felt that one, brother!
Helping God, make me! Thanks for helping us! Lots of helping us!
They gathered appeared! Felt that one, brother!
Big Eldica!
They gathered appeared!
For later!
Nasty hit! You alright, brother? They gathered appeared!
Thanks for helping Helping God, Becky! Turn! Devour them! Go the hook! Big Eldica!
I felt that one, brother!
Eldica! Thanks for Eldica! Lost an Eldica! Devour them! Go the hook! Big Eldica! Lord Eldica! Helping God, Becky! Dirt! Devour them!
And now, invoking Lyra after what they did.
What's Lyra?
It was a peaceful kingdom, full of artists and poets. But it fell to ruin long ago.
And these berserkers were responsible.
Them and their accursed King Hrolf. What little blood I have still boils at the thought.
Did you live there?
Let's just take this victory and move on, eh?
There is no need to shoulder this burden on your own.
Admittedly, you're shouldering the brunt of the work here. Let me worry about the emotional burden.
Mimir, can we get back to what you were saying about Magni and Modi's childhood? Or beat them up a lot?
Aye. He was always a cauldron of drunken rage, and Sif wasn't much better.
Well, Sif doesn't drink anymore. Neither of them do.
I am quietly flabbergasted to hear it.
I get the sense it's more recent for him. But I know he loves his daughter.
I expect that's the explanation. Sif goes straight and hopes that raising a good daughter will redeem their past failures. Thor struggles. Maybe she gives him an ultimatum after some breaking point or other.
Like what he did to Modi, that night he found us.
Oh, that's a deft guess, lad. And if that ultimatum worked, well, good for them. Truly.
Whatever you need, I'll create. Heading off already?
Travel to Vanaheim.
Great. You gonna check in on Freya?
Yes.
Glad I get to come So what happened the last time you were in Vanaheim? I still don't know how you got Frey to stop trying to kill you.
We traveled to her village to break Odin's spell. Once freed, she accepted that I was not her enemy.
You also missed a highly entertaining moment where Brock was lifted arse over face in Freyr's camp.
You met Freyr? What's he like?
Different from his sister. Lacks her conviction.
True. And he's a bit quicker to forgive.
And an ineffective leader.
But his heart's in the right place. You'll like him, lad.
Wow. It's beautiful. And, wet.
It is also dangerous.
More dangerous than hell? So, Father's new spear, it's made out of a ring?
Drop me your eye. Forged by the Huldra brothers as a gift for Odin.
How's it work?
Every so often, the Dropnir drips out identical copies of itself. The Huldras presumably figured that if one golden ring was a good gift, an infinite number of them would earn them a permanent place in Odin's heart.
But it didn't.
Not even a little.
Whatever you need. What can I make for you? Now, was there something else?
Back to Vanaheim?
There's still a few loose ends to tie up. There's a former Seidr spirit who wants us to put her sisters out of their misery. And what else? A lost spirit still trapped in the river delta. Perhaps we can put them to rest.
Works for me. What's this thing? Some kind of altar?
I do not know.